step back. Watch here. Takes his time slow, a foot inside, and then a foot.
Cleaning up anybody's mess. And he said, we have so much talent, and I'm just here to lift them up.
Have you caught wind of the latest buzz in the NBA? It's got everyone talking, debating, and maybe even squabbling a bit. In the NBA's MVP ladder, Jason Tatum has swooped past Luka Doncic to claim spot number 4. Can you believe it? On one side, you've got the Boston faithful waving their green banners high, shouting praises for Tatum and the Celtics' historic season. They've got a point. Tatum's been steering the ship like a seasoned captain, showcasing his two-way superstar prowess. It's hard not to be impressed, right? But wait, don't count out the Mavericks and their maestro Luka Doncic just yet, despite grappling with injuries. Luka's been orchestrating some offensive symphonies that would make Mozart jealous. Seriously, this guy's like a wizard with the ball, making magic happen on the court and keeping the Mavs in the game no matter what. The Mavs kicked things off with their signature high pick and roll with Porzingis playing that deep drop coverage like a pro. And you know who took full advantage of that? Our main man, Luka Doncic, of course. He's got this slick in-between game that had the Celtics scratching their heads as he smoothly glided his way to the rim. Kyrie was doing his thing for the Celtics, finding pockets of space at that mid-range like it was nobody's business. But hey, even he couldn't escape the curse of the missed shot. It was like there was a lid on the basket or something. Luka wasn't about to let his team go down without a fight. He took matters into his own hands, posting up against Derek White with all the finesse of a seasoned vet. A smooth fadeaway off the glass that had the crowd on their feet. Luka Doncic was on an absolute tear last night. I'm talking perimeter isolation at its finest. Luka's out there threatening to drive, making the Celtics defense dance to his tune. But just when you think he's going all the way, he pulls back with a smooth step back and drains a 3 like it's nobody's business. Luka's not just a one-trick pony. He's got more moves than a chess grandmaster. This time, it's a high pick and roll. Same old drop coverage from the Celtics, but Luka's not having any of it. He fakes the drive, throws in another step back, and suddenly, he's got all the space in the world for that sweet outside jumper. It's like watching a magician at work. On the other side of the court, the Celtics were showing why they're the cream of the crop when it comes to offense. Drew Holiday and Porzingis were cooking up some serious two-man game action, leaving the big man with a quality look from deep. And get this, it's not just one or two guys who can handle the ball for the Celtics. Nope, anyone in their starting 5 is a threat with a rock in their hands. Jason Tatum decides to get in on the action, initiating a drive like a freight train before hitting that pop. Here comes a third defender swooping in to rain on his parade. So what does Tatum do? He swings it over none other to Derek White for an open 3. Porzingis love that pop, but don't sleep on his screen and roll a game with White as the ball handler. These guys have so much space to work with, it's like they're playing in their own little basketball paradise. With 3 high-flying shooters surrounding them, the defense can't do much except watch helplessly as the ball sails through the net. Drew Holiday is absolutely lethal from the corner this season, shooting a jaw-dropping 68%. So if you see him chilling in that spot without a defender breathing down his neck, you better start saying your prayers because that ball's likely going in faster than you can say swish. You definitely don't want to see Luka trying to fend off Jaylen Brown one-on-one by clearing out one whole side of the court and surrounding Brown with sharp shooters. There's no easy defense to be found. It's like trying to stop a freight train with a feather. Kyrie, who finds himself in the unenviable position of trying to contain Brown. It doesn't go too well. Brown attacks the middle, drawing help from the Mavs, but guess what? That just leaves Porzingis wide open for his 3rd three-pointer of the night, and the man was on fire, racking up 13 points in the first quarter alone. They slap both their bags in the corners because, hey, why not? They're both sharp shooters. Then they spread out 2 guards deep on the wings, leaving Jaylen Brown with enough space to drive a truck through. And what does he do? He calmly sinks a mid-range jumper like it's nothing. The Celtics were firing on all cylinders in that quarter. They dished out 10 assists compared to the Mavericks' measly 2. Shot a scorching 7 of 13 from downtown and boasted an offensive rating of 131. For the most part, Luka was like a surgeon out there, dissecting Boston's defense with precision. Whether he was handling the ball in the pick and roll or orchestrating plays like a maestro, he had the Celtics scrambling to keep up. Take this one play for example. Holiday barely shows his face near the ball for a split second and boom! Luka finds Lively for a monstrous dunk that had the crowd on their feet. It's like he sees the game in slow motion, making split-second decisions. When Porzingis checked in, instead of just dropping back, they had him coming out to meet Luka, creating a tiny window of opportunity. And what does Luka do? He drops an absolute dime, threading the needle like it's nobody's business. After about 8 minutes of Luka's magic, he takes a breather, and you can immediately see the difference in the quality of shots. It's like the Mavs suddenly lost their mojo without their star player steering the ship. Luka may have only taken a breather for a measly 2 minutes, those 2 minutes too long for the Mavs. They managed to scrape together a score on somewhat botched possession, with Exum floating one off the glass for 2. But as soon as Luka checked back in, it was like turning up the heat on a simmering pot. With Porzingis switch onto him, Luka wasted no time, attacking one-on-one and hitting that signature step-back 3 like it was second nature. And just when you thought he couldn't get any better, he pulls off a full-court chest pass in the closing seconds, setting up his teammates for some easy buckets. In those 10 glorious second quarter minutes with Luka at the helm, the Mavs boasted an offensive rating of 125, with Luka himself racking up 7 points and 6 assists on a scorching 60% shooting. No matter how perfectly Luka plays, and no matter the magic he conjures on the court, the Mavs just can't seem to keep up with that Boston offense. They're forced to leave Tatum in single coverage, praying he doesn't go off like a firecracker on the 4th of July. A tale of two teams, each with their own strengths and weaknesses, battling out on this grand stage of NBA basketball. And trust me, this game is far from over. So grab your lucky socks, say a prayer to the basketball gods, and let's see who comes out on top in this epic showdown. Despite Luka Doncic's Herculean efforts, 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists on an incredible 70 true shooting at halftime, the Mavs found themselves trailing by 7. The third quarter was like a heavyweight boxing match with both teams trading blows like there was no tomorrow. Tatum, in particular, started heating up from downtown, rising right over PJ Washington with that smooth shooting stroke of his. But on the other side of the court, Luka continued to work his magic as a playmaker. A post-up that turns into a no-look pass for a high-quality jumper. The man's passing game is straight out of a Picasso painting. But here's where things started to unravel for the Mavs. Luka tried to take matters into his own hands as a one-on-one scorer, but that step-back 3 just wouldn't fall. And when your star player's shot isn't dropping, well, let's just say it's like trying to swim upstream with a broken paddle. Kyrie Irving decided to show up fashionably late, making plays and sparking a mini revival for the Mavs. They even managed to cut the lead down to just 2 points at one stage. It didn't matter what the Mavs did because the Celtics, especially Tatum, always had an answer. The fourth quarter was where things really went south for the Mavs. It felt like Luka was playing 1 versus 5 at times, with his teammates struggling to find their rhythm. Despite Luka's heroics, 37 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists on an incredible 65% true shooting, the Mavs offense sputtered, shooting a dismal 6 of 25 from downtown. The Celtics were firing on all cylinders, with 3 players scoring at least 24 points and the team shooting a scorching 21 of 43 from 3. It was like watching a well-oiled machine in action, with the Celtics dominating on both ends of the floor. What is your take on this? Do let us know in the comments section, and also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, see you all!